this will be quite helpful. Jessica here has got an abscess, and we've been soaking her foot this morning in some warm water and Epsom salts to help start softening the foot. And I'm now going to show you the best way to put a poultice on. Nice and straightforward and simple. The key thing is to get yourself prepared before you actually start putting it on. So while your horse's foot is soaking, get your equipment together. You'll need a nappy. These are perfect for poultices and much cheaper than things like the Animal Intex kind of veterinary stuff. You also need a vet wrap, and you also need to make yourself a nice pad out of gaffer tape. So a little nod to my friend Hayley Morphew here, whose tip this was to actually use a container tub like this. Thank you, Hayley. If you put a layer of tape on one way and then a layer of tape on the opposite way, you'll end up with a really nice solid pad that will actually make a good kind of ground resistant, waterproof, basically boot. So your horse will be fine to go outside and it fine in the wet. And then a useful thing to do is to cut some tabs into each corner. So I've put these in here, you can see, and when I put it on, you'll see why that's actually a really useful thing. I also like to keep in my kit a tub of horse leads hoof spray. It's a natural antibacterial spray, and what I'll do is I'll put a little squirt of that on once the foot comes out of the bucket, and it will just help. If the foot gets a bit sweaty inside the poultice, it will help stop thrush and things developing, as well as the abscess itself. So we're now ready to start. I'm going to take Jessica's foot out of the bucket. Good girl. Come on, buddy. That's it. As I say, I'm just going to give the foot a quick squirt with the antibacterial spray, and then we're going to start with the first layer, putting the nappy on. It's perfectly shaped, as well as for a baby's bottom for a hoof. So get your hoof, the toe nicely in, bring it round. It has the added advantage of having the little sticky tabs as well, so it holds it in place. So then at least if you've got a horse that's not as obliging as Jessica here and is waving its foot around, it's already kind of holding itself in place. Then I like to put a layer of vet wrap on because it just makes the whole thing more secure, keeps it nice and tight, and it's much more likely to stay on well if you've got a good firm layer underneath. So put your vet wrap round, cover the whole of the nappy. Good girl. Okay, so now you've got a nice, smooth, firm base with which to put your outer layer of tape on. Now, peel that off there. The key is to try and not let it stick to itself as you get it off. So this is where the tabs come in. So you basically stick your pad right on the middle of the foot like so. Good girl, Jess. Fold it round, and then you can bring the tab across and then fold the pad round, and again this side, bring the tab across and fold it round, and the same at the top. Bring the tab across and bring the tab across. Now you've got a fairly good poultice already. Pop that down on the ground, and what I'm going to do just to seal that, which will help as well if you've got some mud or if it's wet, just to make sure it really stays on well. I'm going to stick an extra strip across the front here where we can still see a bit of the vet wrap, just to hold that together. One more bit. The thing not to do is to wind it all the way around the foot, because then it can become uncomfortable for the horse. So I can still fit my fingers down the back there a bit. It's going to be reasonably comfortable for you. What you don't want is it digging into the foot and making it sore, but at the same time you want it on well enough that it's going to stay on. Now that is nice and solid, waterproof, because you've got the double layer on there as well. It will stay on really well. you know, if I want that to stay on for a couple of days, that should be absolutely no problem. So there you go, there's my my top tips and method on how to apply a poultice. Thank you.